Here we are on our April Family Wednesday. It feels like these months are flying by, and we're so glad you're here. I'm super excited because, like I told you last time, Josh Lane Fiesta is here. He's the director over at the Parks and Rec, and we're trying our best to work together so that we can provide academics here and sports there and lots of fun activities. So I'm going to have Josh kind of catch you up on what's happening at Parks and Rec. Give him a nice warm of applause.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Sylvia. What we got going on at the Rec is we still have soccer sign-ups. We have two 10-year-old teams, two 12-year-old teams, and we have a Pee-wee team for kids 5 to 7. We probably have one more week of sign-ups before we have to finalize rosters. So if you haven't signed up for your kid, or you know someone that's looking to sign up for soccer, come over to the Rec by by Monday. Next big thing I got going on, I want to give you guys a heads up. We have summer camp going to happen over at Adams. It's going to start, I'm going to get the day, I'm sorry, June 27th and go all the way through August 19th, and the camp will be week-long sessions. So it'll be $40 for 1 week to have your child there from 11 a.m. to 5 o'clock. We're going to go on field trips. We're going to go to a Padres game. We're going to go to the aquarium, the Birch Aquarium. We're going to go to Skate World. We're going to go to the Aztec bowling lanes, and it'll all be for $40 a week. So I have a flyer. It's tentative, but sign-ups will start May 14th. So I'll give you a flyer, but it is subject to change. But I have my phone number on there, so if you have any questions, or you're like, when's summer camp sign-up starting, just give me a call. Other than that, that's about it. Any questions at all? Okay. Thank you.
Great opportunities for our kids. There's also going to be a summer program through Prime Time. Your child does not have to be in Prime Time currently to participate. Typically it's here at Adams, but this year it's going to be at Franklin Elementary, which is not too far, just on the other side of 15. So you should be getting some paperwork on that as well. And my understanding is that's going to be a full-day program as well. So that's, I think, a 4-week session. So you have great opportunities for your child. Do a couple of camps at the Parks and Rec. Take them over to the Primetime Summer Program. Keep them busy over the summer. All right, so I wanted you to kind of hear what we've been doing with your children the last few weeks. On Monday, whenever we come back from a break, whether it's the winter break, spring break, or the beginning of school, I do a little discipline assembly to kind of get kids back in the swing of things and to remind them of the rules. And I think it's important for you to hear the same messages that your children hear, so that we're both on the same page. So when you see it, yell it out. Here we go. Adam's attitude.
Work hard. Be kind. Dream big. Make it happen.
Good. So your kids, every single student should know how to say that on command, right? Because anything that they are doing, positive or sometimes even negative, can be tied to our big Adams attitude. And so what I'm going to do is take you through just really quickly what I did with the kids in their PowerPoint that I did on Monday, just so you can get a feel for that. All right, it looked like this, and we went through the same thing with the work hard, be kind, dream big, make it happen. Then I went through, what does work hard look like? What are the behaviors that you do to work hard? And we talked about what this little guy was doing. Look at how he's concentrating. Look at his tongue like that. That means it's a little bit tricky, but he's still persevering. But sometimes when you're working hard, it looks like that, right? And I told them, that looks like that for me sometimes on my work. Because working hard is hard work. It can be hard work. But we expect all of us teachers, parents, students, to aim for the stars, to try our best, and to work, work, work. That's what working hard looks like. And we talked about the rules for working hard, that you follow directions, not only from your teacher, but also on your assignments. Some of those tests that the kids are taking coming up, they will say, select all of the answers that best fits whatever the problem is, or select 2 correct answers. And so kids that don't read the directions, they mark one, they go on to the next, and they get it wrong. So that following directions is a huge, huge thing for working hard. The second is doing your best, even when it's challenging. We want our kids to have that growth mindset so that they persevere through things. And we have the kids read this. We don't grow when things are easy. We grow when we face challenges. We talked about how our brain is a muscle and you've got to work it. If you just keep doing things that are easy for you, you're never going to grow. You're never going to get as smart as you can get. We made a little image of this. We talked about what are the challenges that this little plant has. How can this little plant grow to exceed its potential and become that beautiful redwood tree? Same with you and I, boys and girls, and we talk about that. We talk about not only just be kind, but look for opportunities for kindness. And we talked about the rules for being kind. Respect yourself. We said that means you take care of yourself. You eat good foods. You get lots of sleep. You hang out with people that help you feel good about yourself. You follow your passions. If you love to draw, make sure you draw every single day. If you love to dance, make sure you dance every single day. That's respecting yourselves. Respecting others, being aware of how others feel and how your behavior affects how others can respond to you. Respect property, making sure we don't take things and all the usual things. Make sure we clean up after ourselves. All of these things can be done at home as well. So if we are all saying the same message, your child is surrounded with that important life lesson. This was kind of funny. So it was going into a conversation about bullying. And I asked them, I had 2 assemblies. So the big kids, 3rd through 5th, and the little kids, K through 2. The big kids were pretty honest about answering this. I said, don't say anything. Just shake your head yes if you think it's yes. Shake your head no if you think it's no. You don't need to look at what your friend is doing. It's your own individual answer. So the first question was, do you know what bullying means? Most everybody went like this. Is there bullying at Adams? Now, the big kids were about half and half. Half were like this, half were like that. The little kids was hysterical. They were like... But then when I did this one, I said, do you know a bully? Big kids, about 75%, mm-hmm. Little kids, mm-hmm. I was like, okay, you just said there's no bullying, but you do know bullies. So it was kind of funny. Are you a bully? Do you know what to do if you are being bullied? And do you know what to do if you see someone being bullied? Because it's really important for kids to have strategies to know what to do in these different kinds of situations. And I want it to be a school-wide effort, including having parents involved. So we talked about what is bullying, and that there's actually 3 types. There's verbal bullying, if somebody says something mean about another person. That includes teasing and name-calling, taunting. We talked about what taunting means. Threatening to cause harm. And it looks like that. Those kids are trying to make her feel bad about herself. That's about something that they said. That's verbal bullying. The second one is social bullying. Hurting somebody's reputation when you try to get a group against someone. And that includes leaving someone out on purpose. And I modeled for them when a little person says, you can't come to my birthday if you don't da-da-da-da-da. I go, guys, that's bullying. You don't leave somebody out on purpose. That's not okay. Telling other children not to be friends with someone. Spreading rumors about someone. Embarrassing someone in public. And a little picture of what that looks like. The third is the physical bullying, involving hurting somebody's body or possessions. Hitting, kicking, pinching, spitting, pushing, tripping, breaking or taking someone's things. Making mean or rude hand gestures. I forgot to mention in the first one, the verbal bullying. That's not only what you say, but what you write. And that includes cyberbullying. When kids are on the computer and they're Facebooking and doing different things and writing mean things about people. That to me is all under verbal bullying, and it's still bullying. We said that might be what it looks like. What to do if you are bullied. We're trying to teach our kids to tell people what they want. Look the person in the eye. Tell them to stop. Walk away. Tell an adult. And then I even said, sometimes you can make a joke of it. Not always, but sometimes you can just kind of let the kind of break up the tension by making a joke. Then we talked about what do you do if you see someone being bullied? You tell an adult. Now when I showed that little picture, they kept saying, tell the teacher. And I want them to get broader than that. So if they're on the playground, we have 3 to 4 yard duty supervisors out there. Don't go tell the teacher, tell the adult that's closest to you. Officer Diaz is there, Mrs. McGrade is there, Mr. Cortez is there. Like any adult who happens to be close, tell an adult. Tell your parents. And we want to make sure that it happens right then. If I hear something a week later, it's very difficult to try to investigate that and put it together. Little kids, that a week ago, that didn't even happen, right? It has to be right in the moment. Be friends with that person. If you see somebody having a hard time of it, go up to them. Hey, come play with me. Let's do something together. And we talked about what it means to be a bystander. Like if you see something happening that you know is not right, you are responsible to do something about it. You don't need to get into the bullying, but you need to go get an adult so that it can stop right then. Then we showed a really quick, and this is a great website. If you ever want more information, there's information for parents, for students, called stopbullying.gov. And there's lots of good information there. If your child is ever needing some support, that might be a place that you want to go together. And it looks, this is what the website, oops, sorry, you can't see that. This is what the website looks like, stopbullying.gov, and this is actually sort of the kids page. There's games, there's videos, and this was the little video that I showed them. It's only about a minute.
Come on, take a stand. Let the hand stop bullying now.
Check this out. I'm gonna squeeze this pudding down Weenie's shirt.
Okay if I join you, Milton?
Yeah, sure.
So, how are your tuba lessons going?
I'm not playing tuba anymore.
No? That's too bad. I remember when you played that punk rock song at the talent show. That was pretty cool.
What's this? Weenie made a new friend? Does this mean you're a weenie too?
Hey, Josh. Hey, Milton.
Do you know my name?
Sure, you're the tuba player. You must be really dedicated to lug that tuba around everywhere.
He got pudding in his mac and cheese.
You know, I think we've all had just about enough of your bullying.
Yeah, stick a brick in it, Brick.
You know, the school's mac and cheese is so bad that the chocolate pudding actually improves it.
Shut up, you two.
Good one, Milton. Here, I'll share my lunch with you.
No, I was serious. This is way better.
then we talked about what are the strategies that, Lauren, can I ask you, Vic, can you turn that in? What are the strategies that you saw that these little characters did? And so they can see, they said stop, they walked away, they helped each other, they made a joke, right? And so it was a way to exemplify some of those strategies that we want our kids to really own and know about. For the younger kids, I did let's see. I did a different little cartoon, but same kind of idea, where it showed the strategies in a little cartoon format, so that that message comes across in many ways. And then we review, what do? Use eye contact, say stop, walk away, tell an adult, make a joke if that's appropriate. What do you do if you see someone being bullied? Tell an adult, be friends with that person, and so forth. And then they also, it's important that you as parents know about this website as well. This is our Sandy.net Adams website. Everybody should go on there as much as you can so you can get the latest information. And because of you, Mr. Cortez and Mr. Palmer helped to have us put the presentations, the Family Wednesdays, online. So now you can show, if your spouse isn't here and you want to show them what happened or whatever, you can go online and see the Family Wednesday presentation. So I want you to say thank you to Mr. Palmer and Mr. Cortez for helping us get that up and running. Can you turn the light? Thanks. So here's our website. And these are great Family Wednesday photos that Mr. Cortez put on there. But right on the side here, it says report bullying. This is a link that every school in our district has, and it takes you to this online bullying report form. Now, I told the kids, first, you handle it here at school. You tell the adult that's in charge of you at that time. You talk to your teacher, you talk to the principal, you talk to Officer Diaz. We settle it here first. If for some reason somebody feels like they didn't get their problem solved, this is another way to implement the policy. Obviously, if there's some real danger, you call 911. But if you feel that something else is happening, and we're Adams, so we're right at the top of the list here, you can fill this out as a parent, as a student, and submit it, and a report, not a report, but an incident comes to me via my email. Okay, and so I just wanted parents to know that this is something else that's put into place, because as a district and as a school, we take this very seriously. All right. Are there questions or wonderings or anything you're thinking about? Okay, so all right, so the rest talked about playground safety rules, being on time. We really, really need your help. We had 33 kids absent on Monday. That is like more than the whole 5th grade class. It is out of control. And then Tuesday there was only 11. And that goes back to, if really you're sick, of course you're not going to be at school. But for that many to be out means that most of them were out because they extended the vacation, or I don't know why, always. So it's so important that your child is here every day on time. This is an effort I need everybody's help on. Telling other friends or other kids' parents that you know, maybe getting them together and saying, hey, I'll take the kids on Monday, you take them on Tuesday, or something where we're working together to make sure kids are here every day on time. All right, thank you for your help on that. We talked about lunchtime rules. You kind of get the idea. And respecting our property. 2 things to bring to school. They all know this. What do you bring to school? Your homework and your brain. And that's it. No toys should be coming to school. No cell phones should be coming to school. In 5th grade, I let the kids bring the phones, but they must be in their backpack, they must be off, they must not come out during the day. If they come out during the day, it's taken from them, it comes to me, and I do not give it back to the child until a parent comes to get it. All right, and so I'm super clear with the kids, and I wanted everybody else to know that as well. If you think your child needs to have a cell phone, that's the policy that stays in the backpack. They're not, as soon as the bell rings, there's no cell phone. As soon as the bell rings at the end of the day and they're back out on the playground, then they can bring it out again. All right, super, super important. And then never bring anything to school that can harm yourself or to others. And then we all sang "You Can Count on Me," Bruno Mars. It was fun. All right, going back to our slideshow. Other things that are happening here. Okay, we did that. Okay, reclassification. I wanted all of our parents to understand what happens with our English language learners. We have about 48% of our students who speak a language other than English at home and sometimes even at school. Every student who is an English language learner has several supports in place to help them progress in their English development. In the fall, all of our English learners take an assessment called the CELT, which stands for California English Language Development Test. And based on the results of this test, we monitor their development of English over time. The test includes a listening, speaking, reading, and writing component. It's pretty comprehensive. And then an overall language proficiency level is determined through that test. Students who are at a very entry level in English are categorized as a beginner. Some of our kindergartners come in as a beginner, or some families who have just come from Mexico, their students are just learning English, they might be categorized as a beginner. So beginner doesn't just mean a little child, you could be a beginner and be in high school. Okay, and so that's the entry level as a beginner. At our school, kids go through beginner really quickly. Then they get into what is called early intermediate, and then a little bit more is intermediate. The issue is some students sound pretty proficient, they're speaking English, they're functioning on the playground, they're able to participate in class, but the intermediate sometimes kind of is a stopping point for some of our students where their reading is not developing as well as it needs to maintain grade level standards. So we really want to have those supports in place to get them into early advanced and advanced, because it's our goal that by the end of 5th grade, the end of their time with us, that they are reclassified. It's a reclassification criterion. That by the end of 5th grade, and some of our kids can make that goal in 3rd grade, which is awesome. We need them to be at the early advanced or advanced level in that reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Now, some students can make it most of the way, but if they have no more than one intermediate, like let's say they have early advanced in speaking, advanced in listening, early advanced in writing, but reading is still at intermediate. We can actually retest them on that one subtest to see if they can qualify for reclassification. The other criterion is sometimes if we look at their scores on the SBAC. The SBAC is the state test that all our kids are going to be taking in a couple of months. If they get a meet standard, that will help them qualify for reclassification. If their reading level is at grade level on what we call the DRA, that stands for Developmental Reading Assessment, that's another way that they can qualify for reclassification. We have interim assessments. If they score a 40 or more, that's another place where we can get them, that they could meet the right criteria. They also need to have a teacher recommendation and a parent consultation. All of those things need to be in place. And then we submit that paperwork to the Office of Language Acquisition for their approval. They send it back, and then you are notified that your child has met the qualifications for reclassification, and we have a celebration. So this year, I think there's 16 students that made it through to the reclassification ceremony that we're submitting for approval. Hasn't gotten approved yet, but we're hoping that it will. And on May 13th at 2:30, we'll have a celebration for all of those students who showed that good progress in English. But it's important that you know if your child speaks a language other than English, that is not a detriment. That is something that we all want. We all want our kids to be able to speak multiple languages. And we want them to progress in English. So I just wanted you to know. Do you have any questions about this process or thoughts about that? All right, thank you. All right, spring is the time for testing. So starting this month, next Monday, we're going to start what they call the GATE testing, Gifted and Talented Education Test. This is a new test. They're going to be doing it online. It used to be a paper pencil test where they would do fill in the bubble kind of a thing. But it's a new test, it's online. Our school psychologist administers it. All second graders will take this test. All second grade parents will receive a letter showing what your child earned on that test. Third, fourth, and fifth grades graders who are new to the district, or if they were close and they qualified to be retested, they will also be taking the test starting on Monday. So if you received a permission slip with your child, then please make sure you sign it and send it back in so that the testing can happen without any issues on Monday. Yes?
So if you didn't get a permission slip, then they're not going to...
Then you're okay. Right. Felix, for example, was tested in second grade and has already met that qualification, so he's good. Yes. All right, other questions about the GATE testing? Yes?
All the second graders already taken this?
All the second graders take the test.
Did they already take it or?
They're going to take it. Their test is not next Monday, but the following Monday. So I divided Ms. Boatman's second graders into Ms. Gibbs' class and to Ms. Domingo's class. So I think Monday the 18th is Ms. Domingo's class and half of Ms. Boatman's class. And then on the Tuesday, Ms. Gibbs' class and the other half of Ms. Boatman's class.
Is it writing or computer? This is a computer.
Computer, yeah. So it's different, but our kids need to be, that's the kind of test that we take now. I know my daughter just did her RN test, it's on the computer. Her boyfriend just got this certification for one of his IT things, it's on the computer. And so this is the way that tests are given, and that way you get the results back really quickly, but that's something that is the way that tests are taken now. Yeah, good questions. Other wonderings or questions? Yes?
What happens after the kid?
Oh, good question.
And if he or she is dyslexic?
It really, what happens is, especially in middle school, their children are able to take different types of courses or are put into classes that are different than some of the other children. At our school, we need to work harder on differentiating what we do with our students who qualify for GATE and supporting other students as well. So the whole idea of GATE is differentiate or qualitatively different, so that a student might have, we're going to all have the same standards, but how they attain those standards should be different in different ways. So you might have a student who is options on different ways to complete assignments is one example of how curriculum can be differentiated. But I know in middle school, students that have that GATE qualification are put into classes that are a bit more rigorous. But that's a good question, and that's something that just personally, I feel we need to do better at articulating here at Adams, so that there's a distinction. If your child is gay, what does that mean, and how does that look in the classroom? So that's something that in next year's programs, we want to keep talking about and be able to articulate that in a better way. So make sure your child is at school every day, because it might be a day that some of these assessments are happening. Speaking of assessments, SBAC stands for Standards Based Assessment Consortium. Smarter Balanced, you might hear sometimes, or you might hear CASP, which is the California Assessment of Standards and Proficiency. This website is actually a place that you can go and find some of the types of, you're not going to find the test questions, but types of questions that are like what they're going to get on the SBAC test, the state test. On all of our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders will be taking this test in May. So lots of different testing happening. In 5th grade, oh my goodness, they get a lot. 5th grade, some of them will do that gate test if they weren't here in 2nd grade when that test was offered. They have a math placement test for 6th grade. They have the science CST test in 5th grade. And they'll have the SBAC test, which will be in reading for 2.5 days and in math for 2.5 days, all on the computer. The only one that's still paper pencil is the science, because the new generation science standards are in the process of being implemented, and so the assessment hasn't been developed yet. So they're still taking the old paper pencil science test. 3rd and 4th grade will just be involved with the SBAC test. Okay, and that next month I'm going to keep talking about that too, because that'll happen the last week of May and the first week of June. Yes?
Is it going to be a practice test for the gate test?
There's no practice test for the gate test. Yeah. It's just a one and done. So make sure your child is here with lots of rest and lots of good food in them and ready to go. That's a good question. All right, here's something else that's going to be happening. 5th grade again, there's a Healthy Kids survey. How many 5th grade parents do we have here? 1, 2, 3, good. Did you receive a phone call on Sunday about this Healthy Kids survey? Yes? Did you receive something in the mail that was a consent form? All right, so I need you to send that back. What we're doing as a district and in the state of California, our 2 surveys are going to be happening to kind of check what do kids think in terms of the safety and how happy they are at school. And another one is going to be for the staff. And it's going to be the school climate survey. There's another one for the parents. I go to a meeting on Friday, and I'm going to ask because I want to know what you think about our school as well. So this is a survey, again, they're going to do it online, and then the results will come back to our school so that we can make changes in response to what staff think and what students think. But I also want to include parents. What do you think? How can we improve? Do you feel your child is safe at school? Do you feel your child is getting the supports that they need so that we can make responses to that? So if you're a 5th grade parent, please return that consent form. And if you don't have one, we have them in the office, and I'll let you know when we're going to actually administer that survey. Okay, now the fun stuff. PTCO is having their spring fiesta. Last night we had our PTCO meeting and we ended up changing the date. So it used to be April 15th, cross that off your calendar, and input April 22nd from 6 to 7:30. We're super excited. We're going to have food and games and fun. It's a great family event and we really hope that a lot of you will come. We also would love your help. So we have a little donations chart over here, and we would love for you to please sign up for an item or two. We're thinking of things that are sort of the non-perishables, And so please think about if you can donate water, Capri Suns, the nacho cheese, plates or spoons or forks, tortilla chips, or if you're a great cook, can you make pozole, or do you do a mean chicken tostada, or something like that? We would love to have you help us out with that. But they are going to do the carne asada, and Angel agreed to do we have our grill now, so he's going to be cooking the grill. And but if you have a specialty that you would like to help us with, we would just really appreciate it. Or if you just want to send in, a case of water or a case of Capri Suns or whatever, all of those items would really help us. All right, thank you. So please, as you leave, make sure you write down what your ideas are. Thank you. Where's Tracy? Is there anything else that I forgot on there? Okay, cool. Today, our after-school clubs, our session 2 begin. So we're going to have our gardening, cooking, soccer, art. We changed from theater to art, and mathematics club. All right, so if your child is not signed up and you would like them to be, see Miss Lonnie today so that we can add them to the roster. And this will be, is this 8 weeks, 6 weeks?
8 weeks.
8-week session, so we'll meet every Wednesday. And the kids had a ball last session. It was really, really fun. So if you're interested in having them come, please talk to Miss Lonnie today. All right, I wanted to catch you up on Mr. Vontes. So the last time I talked to you, I had showed you the little box and all the kids collected their money. The kids brought in over $1,800. So thank you so much for your support of that. We went to the event and I made like a clearinghouse, Publishers Clearinghouse check. And I wrote out there, $1,838.26, and a bunch of the teachers, almost all our teachers came to the event. So we all stood there with the big check and presented it to her, and she was just so thankful. The event was really successful. I don't even know how many people were there. Mr. Cortez, how many people do you think were there?
It's 500. 500?
You think that many? Yeah, hundreds of people came in. And I wanted to show you, we were on the news, a couple of stations, and so I wanted to show you that. Can I ask you to turn that again? This is the Channel 6 story, so you can see her.
A South Park woman left paralyzed after a freak accident in Baja back in November received a warm welcome. The woman everyone knows as the librarian spent many years helping others. Now, she's getting help from some of the
Tell me if you can't see it. I'm like looking at it right here. Sorry.
She helped in the past. It's a special day for Deanne Cervantes and her family. CW6's Carlos Delgado is in our newsroom tonight with more on why her friends are reaching out.
When Deanne Cervantes loved books, for many years she made a difference and inspired others to read. Today, so many of those same people showed up for a special fundraiser. Her supporters want to make sure she receives all the attention she needs following a freak accident just a few months ago.
Now it's here, I'm like, oh my God.
Librarian Deanne Cervantes wheeled into Rebecca's coffee house in South Park, not knowing what to expect.
They thought I impacted their lives. No. Their footprints are on my heart forever.
For an emotional homecoming.
She deserves it.
This was Deanne's first time out in public since her November cliff accident at her vacation home in Baja.
She fell 20 feet off a cliff, broke her back, and she's paralyzed from the waist down.
Friends from McKinley Elementary, where she worked for 2 decades, and Adams Elementary, where she works now, are getting back to a woman who's been so generous over the years.
There's just an outpouring of love for her. She's very loved.
Retired school principal Julie Ashton Gray says the mother of two deserves all the help she can get.
This is just a great opportunity for us to give back to Dan for letting us give so much to all of us.
The money
See the outpouring of support and love from so many. It was a bit too much.
from Sunday's silent auction will be used to help pay for home improvements so that it's easier for her to get in and out.
This means so much in so many ways they will never know. I'm so happy.
Deanne's life has changed forever.
Never give up. Never give up hope.
She says she's getting stronger every day and she thanks her support group.
Thank you is such a simple phrase, but it means so much from me to so many.
And Deanne is on leave from Adams Elementary in Normal Heights, but she's supposed to return very soon. If you want to lend a hand and go to our website, we got a link to the GoFundMe account, and there's all the information in the news and travels and down.
Pretty cool, huh? There's another one if you want to look it up for Channel 7 as well, but I thought that one was a pretty comprehensive one. So, thank you so much for all your support. Once they put all of the donations together with the silent auction and people just donating there and other, there was raffles and all different kinds of things, almost $10,000 was earned. So it's awesome. It's awesome. Thank you. She is planning on coming back to see the kids and all that sometime this month. I really want her to do it if it works for her schedule on a Monday at the assembly so that she can see all the kids. And then we're gonna present her, actually give her the real check. So anyway, thank you again for your generosity and your support and helping your children have, that's an opportunity for kindness, right? Where you think about others and you try to do your best to help make a difference in somebody else's life. So thank you, thank you. All right, questions, wonderings, suggestions?